Hey guys, this is Whyt Manga here with a new video, creator of Apple Black. If y'all haven't checked it out, I have the first 4 chapters free in the links below, the about section below, so y'all can go check that out. So here with a new video showing you guys an upgrade, showing you guys some behind the scene concept art, some drafts. But before I get into that, I just want to announce that Apple Black, while we're 100% Saturday AM exclusively, but it's been nominated for a GMI award. So y'all can any support is appreciated. Just even liking videos, subscribing, leaving comments, and all that stuff. Letting people, spreading the word about the comic and things like that. All support is appreciated. So here's a way you guys can support the series moving forward. It even helps me monetarily a little bit. I'll leave a link to where you guys can vote, because while I'm nominated, you actually win via like a voting poll. So y'all can check that out. I'll leave a link to that. You kind of need a GMI account, like a profile to vote with like email verification and stuff like that. I know for some of y'all it might be a little difficult, but it doesn't take long at all. So if anybody takes out the time to just give Apple Black a vote, it'll be heavily appreciated, because the money can go back into the comic, go back to the YouTube, and maybe getting a new mic. A lot of people complain about my mics, so yeah, the money could be used really wisely. So y'all can check that out and give Apple Black a vote. You have to create a profile before you can actually vote. So sometimes some people might have a little issues here and there. So at least make sure that the numbers go up to make sure that your vote actually counted. So yeah, that's that. Currently, I don't think I'm leading, but yeah, I'll leave a link to that. Y'all can check that out. Any support's appreciated. Now we're hopping into the video. Okay, straight into the video. What I'm drawing right now is drawing the first draft, or a couple drafts, because I've been thinking about the design for this for a while now. But it's a draft. It's not a final piece, even though I'm kind of liking how things are coming together. But this is kind of like a powered up Sano. It's a different Sano. For those who follow the series so far, he's never truly been pushed to the limit yet, or not even close, right? And for what this is just a way, another way for me to like let you guys know, keep people excited for Apple Black moving forward. Not that the form is going to be debuting in Volume 2. Looking at Volume 2, I don't think so. At least not yet. Maybe not for a while. A form will debut in Volume 2 or 3, but not this one. This one is this is like Arodihs Sano. This is like when the Arodihs arm, that's the Merlin's left arm, according to the story and the way I've kind of presented things so far. This is kind of like maybe an idea of maybe the arm taking over the whole body, and this may be something that will happen, say, if Sano's at near death kind of battle or something like that, where it kind of takes over. And so essentially it's not Sano, even if it is. Right now it's not Sano. Like you can't necessarily reason with it, but it's not like a crazy form like a say Hollow Ichigo kind of thing, or the early episodes of Naruto where the fox kind of takes over a little bit. Nothing like that. This is a very civilized, calculated form, but it's just not Sano. Almost like it has a mind of its own. It's almost like it's very defensive. It's more defensive than anything, and very protective too. So yeah, it's a cool form, an idea, a form that will take place, in the future. I just wanted to show you guys some of the behind-the-scenes stuff with Apple Black, just to keep people excited for what's to come with the series. And I kind of like the idea, so I'm playing around with the designs of kind of like the light that goes around the body and things like that. Touched his hair a little bit, gave him a halo, which you will see eventually. Kind of like a halo, which has its own little symbolism and things like that. Another thing I wanted to clarify is with the series, the way I've put things together, there are forms that people will have that I have the walls of impulse, where you have the ebony wall and the ivory wall. Now this is not a wall at all. This is like a wand taking over the body. This is completely different. This is kind of like a form that probably no one else in the series will have. Maybe, well, don't quote me on it. Now that I think about it, I might take that statement back. But this is completely different from breaking the ebony wall or an ivory wall. It's different from what Nirvana is. Nirvana is another thing that I talked about. And you know, with more battles that come, not just battles, but as the series moves on, there will be a little more explanation for certain things, and maybe a little more slight exposition to kind of explain what's going on. So yeah, that's that. This video is just going to be me designing this new Sano that really isn't Sano. The name of the arm is Arodihs, and it's the Arodihs. It's basically Arodihs. It's not Sano anymore. This is Arodihs. You know, I plan for Arodihs, whether it's just the arm or in this form. And by the way, this is not going to be like the final form. There will be other forms where Arodihs, yeah, he takes over the body, or she takes over the body, not being specific. Where it takes over the body, and it will also have several forms. You know, as the series goes on, kind of usually sometimes a lot of series you do that to keep things fresh, but you don't want to have a different form every time. You want a form that you can build kind of a connection with the audience on, a sense of something familiar for the fans to look forward to, kind of like a form that is like a standard beer that can stick and be stuck in people's minds, and they kind of know what to look forward to and things like that, and get people excited. But once in a while, if for certain instances, depending on what the story lends itself to, you might need another evolve, or Sano not just growing as a character, or growing as this source of power that the Eli prophecy and things like that have made him up to be. With all the tales of the infinite night and dawning, I have it in the description and things like that for those. So I don't want to ramble too long because there are probably people watching this video that have no idea what I'm talking about. So I explained some of this stuff in the synopsis, which you can find on the Apple Black homepage. I'll leave links to that in the description on Saturday AM for what Saturday AM is as well. I'll leave links to that. But dawning the infinite night and things like that, it all ties into that prophecy. So not just growing as a character, it'll growing as that power source. So Arodihs is also growing as well, but it's different from what Sano can do on his own without the arm. So Sano will probably eventually be able to break the walls and be able to maybe Nirvana. I'm not want to spoil too much. I feel like I'm spoiling enough already just by showing the drawing. But this is just a way to let people know that there's more to Apple Black than what's been portrayed so far. I think is because of how production has kind of been slow, and I've been busy with school and Saturday AM and things like that. I've not been able to, and also some personal stuff, so I've not been able to pop out chapters as much as I'd like to. But yeah, I just wanted, this is kind of like a cool gift for you guys, so you guys can look. And again, it's not nothing final. It's just a draft. I'm kind of liking the white hair. I'm liking the idea of Arodihs kind of taking over the whole body, so he's black, and the halo, and also the weapon. The weapon, and I'm also thinking of ideas that Arodihs will probably be able to form weapons from out of his ass and things like that. So yeah, a lot of cool ideas going on. It will want to be, and with things like this, for people doing their own series, there's also something you don't want to do all the time. It's kind of like a perfect timing kind of thing, perfectly paced, perfectly timed. It depends on the situation kind of thing. Then you pull this kind of stuff, and I want it to be something scarce. It's usually when maybe it's almost like a fail-safe if Sano's near death, and I don't think we're gonna see that in volume 2 or 3, but we will see some cool forms that Sano will take moving forward, whether that would be actually breaking the wall or something like that. I don't want to spoil anything, but volume 2 and the way volume 2 ends and things like that, I'm really looking forward to putting that together. For those looking forward to volume 2, I'm thinking volume 2 will be out early summer or late this spring. I can't say for sure right now, but I'm still doing my best trying to crank out excuse me, doing my best trying to crank out chapters, and so far so good. I think volume 2 has been pretty solid so far. Again, the form is not, I don't even think it's going to be Sano's strongest form. I don't want it to be Sano's strongest form. I don't want Sano's strongest form to be something that isn't him. It's one of us. It's kind of like a story thing. I want, if he actually overcomes, the obstacles that are in front of him, right? I want it to be because of him and not because of the arm. It's kind of like one of those things where it's not the tool, but the man using the tool, which applies to several other things. It's not, the idea and the concept is not just to have a cool Sano that's just ridiculously strong and things like that. There is it's almost a way to book it, a way to write it, which eventually I'll make a video about power ups and level ups and things like that. They're very popular in shonen manga, and kind of explain my philosophy and what I've learned from other mangas and how the ones I think are successful and the ones I think that maybe not as successful, but I can't think of any ones that are pretty bad anyways. So most of them are pretty good, and I from what I've learned from them and what I've studied, watching other series, reading other comics, whatever it be, Western or Eastern, just kind of sharing the wealth and let you guys know what I think about stuff like this and how it should be done. So in this case, it'll be something where it's almost like a different person. It's not necessarily Sano, it's Arodihs, and there's a whole other story with that other things in this story that I don't want to spoil, as to even how Sano even has the arm in the first place, why he has it, why it's there, and what's its purpose and things like that, and other characters that are involved in the whole scene. I don't want to spoil things, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But it's a character. It's almost like a character on its own. But it's gonna be Arodihs. It's gonna be strong. Really, I plan for it to be a really, really ridiculously strong character, or a strong form of Sano that would still even become stronger. But I want things where it's not winning battles by controlling Sano, where like Sano's not being developing as a character and overcoming obstacles by being used by this wand, whether it's a wand or not, but kind of like what it is. It's kind of what it is. I have this whole concept of what wands are in Apple Black and how I put them together is what I think is one of the more original things about Apple Black, which maybe I'll have a separate video talking about. But I don't want it to be where he's being used by the wand rather than he being the user. So overcoming obstacles by himself, using the wand, maybe with the help of Arodihs, rather than Arodihs clearing the road for him and he's not doing anything. Also, with things like this, you can come up with, ideas of, inner battles within himself and things like that. Maybe battling Arodihs, going rogue, or things like that. Even though I don't think again, I'm just throwing out ideas for this kind of concepts and things like that. Not necessarily. I'm not saying that's necessarily going to happen. So in summary, this is Arodihs, and it's not going to be Sano's strongest form, not by a long shot. That's just from my perspective, looking at, where the story is headed. But it's going to be one of those cool forms that will be capable of some really strong-ass One Punch Man-esque things. So it's one of the parts of the series that I'm, looking forward to. Again, this is just a draft. It's not a final drawing. It's not a final piece. Moving forward, I might add certain things, or take away certain things. It depends. But yeah, I had fun doing this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think you guys can tell me what you think about the design. Yeah, when you kind of want to do things that are drastic change to symbolize or to show that this is like a different form, and we're taking things to the next level and things like that. But the choice of weapon, the halo, the hair, the symbols on the body, they're all on purpose, and they're all kind of have certain meanings to them. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, leave comments if you have any questions, and stay tuned for more. I have videos coming up about speed lines, focus lines, and other tutorials. Another video about power-ups and level ups like I discussed in this video. So yeah, that's that. It's Whyt Manga, and I'm out.